job.
That's how you bounce back, baby. Consistency.
Every time they made a run, we answered. We stepped up to the challenge. Our defense, we were in there. We self-corrected when we needed to. All right, we communicated on the floor, multiple levels of effort. We were connected on both ends of the floor.
After 2 straight embarrassing losses to teams they were expected to beat, the Indiana Fever returned to Gainbridge Fieldhouse under intense scrutiny. Doubts swirled about whether the team was unraveling. Caitlin Clark had just come back from injury. Rumors of heated exchanges between her and coach Stephanie White were making headlines, and Brittney Griner's disrespectful remarks from their last encounter still lingered. But what followed wasn't just a bounce back, it was a statement. The Fever didn't just defeat the Atlanta Dream. They dominated them in a commanding 99-82 victory. It was the kind of performance that reminded everyone exactly why this team is packed with championship-caliber talent. If you're riding with the Fever, drop a comment. ***, I've got the Fever. ***, let's go.
I think that everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt and our offense was clicking. But now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game. And so we have to adjust. And I think all of us just want it now. We know what the potential of this team can be, but we can't think about that. You really have to take day to day and stuff that worked here, we need to carry it over to tomorrow's game. We have a lot of games coming up in I think like 7 days or whatnot. And so it's mentally making sure that we're good. It's physically making sure we're getting recovery, making sure we're taking care of our bodies off the court. But we're trying to figure it out. And I think you guys see it. I think we're all a little fresh.
Picture this. The Indiana Fever had just suffered back-to-back losses in games they should have easily controlled, and fans were beginning to panic. The defeats to the LA Sparks and Golden State Valkyries weren't just bad nights. They were red flags that something was seriously off with this team. It all began when Caitlin Clark went down with a groin injury, and Darius Dantas temporarily left to represent Brazil's national team. With 2 key players suddenly gone, the Fever's entire lineup was thrown into chaos. Chemistry that once felt seamless disappeared. Players who had found their rhythm were shuffled into new roles, and rotations that had worked so well earlier in the season started to fall apart. The frustration was obvious, and it bled into their performances night after night.
I alluded to it earlier, but how difficult has it? Does it feel like you guys have had to toggle back and forth between identities with like Caitlin out, Caitlin's back, Caitlin out now, back and forth sort of thing?
Yeah, and it's no one's fault. I mean, no one wants to see anyone injured, right? And it's when she is playing with us, we play a different style of basketball, and it's almost like 2 different teams, right? When she's with us, you play a different style. When she's hurt, which hopefully she's done being hurt, Lord, please hear us, and then we play a whole nother different style. But I do think that once we catch rhythm with her in, we're going to be really, really good. But we can't just keep saying it. You got to put your money where your mouth is.
Coach Stephanie White envisioned a slow, methodical style of basketball, controlling the pace, grinding out possessions, and focusing on structure. But Caitlin Clark had a very different vision. She was pushing hard for a fast-paced, up-tempo offense that could unleash her elite court vision and playmaking abilities. This wasn't just a minor tactical disagreement. It was a deep, fundamental clash over the team's identity. And it showed. The Fever often looked like 2 completely different teams depending on whether Clark was on the floor or not.
Great team, the Valkyries, but it's not to our standard. And so we're running out of time, to be honest. And I think that it's going to light a fire under our butts. And so hopefully you'll see kind of that energy shift tomorrow.
What happened next in that game against the Atlanta Dream would define the entire trajectory of the Fever's season. The stakes were bigger than just a win or loss. This was the moment that could either spark a total collapse or ignite the breakthrough that championship teams are built on. This wasn't just about X's and O's anymore. It was about heart, resilience, and whether the Fever could rise above the internal chaos and finally play like the team everyone believed they could be. The stage was set, and everything was on the line.
We're trying to figure out what's clicking, what's not clicking, what works for us defensively. But at the end of the day, I think what we can hang our hat on is not getting outworked, making sure that we're the aggressors, making sure that we're getting O boards, controlling what we can control. And I think we need to do a better job at that. And if we can do that, I think stuff offensively will open up for us.
You won't believe what went down in the locker room at halftime. A fiery exchange between Caitlin Clark and coach Stephanie White, the kind of conversation no one was supposed to hear about, changed everything. The first half against Atlanta was rough. The Fever looked disjointed, stuck in the same frustrating patterns that haunted them in those earlier losses. Tension was high, and the frustration was written all over their faces. On the court, on the bench, everywhere. But behind those closed doors at halftime, something snapped, and it might have saved their season.
There were people at the game that have told me that this happened and they saw it. So, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White were having a heated discussion at half.
Sources close to the team revealed that Caitlin Clark didn't hold back during the halftime break. Frustrated and fired up, she voiced serious concerns about the team's offensive flow and called for immediate changes to the rotation. According to reports, Clark specifically told coach Stephanie White that Kelsey Mitchell—
We're in the street as Caitlin Clark told White to sit Kelsey Mitchell and Howard because they don't pass. Could be true. Caitlin went to tie her shoe. Like, that is something that I noticed. Like, Caitlin literally, when Natasha Howard had the ball, she didn't even look. She was basically walking back on defense. She essentially walked back on defense every time Natasha Howard had the ball. And by the way, if you guys didn't see Natasha Howard looked off Caitlin Clark to end the third quarter. She looked off Caitlin Clark to end the third quarter in what was just incredibly dumb.
The discussion got so intense, players across the locker room could hear voices escalating from the coach's area. The tension was undeniable, thick enough to cut with a knife. Everyone knew this wasn't just another halftime talk. This was a make-or-break moment. You could feel it in the air. Something major was about to go down. This heated exchange wasn't just about tactics or adjustments. It was—
Look, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White clearly like and respect one another, right? But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. And I am beginning to suspect more and more that there's a bit of a divide between the way that they see the game and the way that they think the Indiana Fever should play.
What set this conversation apart was that Caitlin Clark wasn't just venting frustrations. She came with solutions. She identified the exact issues derailing the team's offense and stepped up as a leader, not just a star.
You can just hear what they have to say and connect the dots a little bit. Not to mention, it didn't go well against the Golden State Valkyries. That was obvious to everybody, of course. Just a rough performance from the Fever. And on its own, that wouldn't be that big a deal. Clark just back, getting her acclimated, all those things. But it's these repeated statements or this issue that seems to be lingering under the surface when it comes to the team's offensive identity that is interesting.
The real test came in the second half, when everyone would see whether that fiery halftime exchange translated into results on the court. But that argument wasn't a sign of dysfunction.
But we have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing.
Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
And Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find significant. I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, white girl.
The WNBA should investigate Brittney Griner's seemingly uttering profanities about white.
Heading into this game, you could feel the extra fire in the air. The Fever were locked in, rallying around their teammate who had been unfairly targeted. This wasn't just another regular season matchup. It was personal. The entire team came in with something to prove, and they weren't just playing for a win. They were playing to make a statement. You don't take shots at their chemistry. You don't disrespect one of their own.
But it's really loud tonight. Clark, the hesitation, draws the foul, lays it in, and one, Caitlin Clark.
Sophie Cunningham rose to the occasion in a big way, delivering a gritty double-double with 16 points and 10 rebounds. She played with relentless intensity, sending a loud and clear message. The Fever weren't backing down from anyone. Her hustle was undeniable, diving for loose balls, battling on the glass, and injecting energy into every single possession. Even with her shots not consistently falling, Caitlin Clark still made a major impact, finishing with 12 points and 9 assists. She proved once again that her value goes far beyond just putting up points. Clark attacked the rim with renewed aggression, drawing fouls instead of relying on perimeter shots, and took full control of the offense. Her vision and decision-making created opportunities all over the floor, keeping the Fever's attack fluid and dangerous. But the most impressive development? Aaliyah Boston stepping up as a true playmaker. She dropped 19 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and dished out a career-high 8 assists, turning the Fever into a ball move.
Dribble penetration has been an issue for Indiana in defending that. They got to do a better job of guarding the ball and not worrying about the action. A hot, cold season for the Fever defensively as Mitchell splashes home a 3. Here going in the first half. No, that's the handle underneath. Still 6 of 10 from the three-point line. Jordan Canada here tonight. Mitchell turns the corner, gets inside, bounces. Howard flips it.
By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, it was obvious this wasn't just a win, it was a statement of intent. The Fever outscored Atlanta 59-37 in the second half, proving they could regroup, adapt, and take control when it mattered most. After a shaky opening, their explosive finish showed the kind of resilience and mental toughness they'd been searching for. The stats said it all: 27 assists on 35 made shots, a remarkable 77% assist rate. It was the product of a team fully in sync, playing unselfish basketball, and feeding off each other's energy. When one of them gets targeted.
Now here is Clark. Eyes ahead. Lob inside. Finds Boston right on the money.
This wasn't just a win, it was a glimpse of what a championship-caliber team looks like when everything falls into place. The Fever's dominant 99-82 rout of Atlanta sent a clear message: when this roster is healthy and in sync, they are a threat to anyone in the league. You could feel it in every possession. The crisp ball movement, the locked-in defense, the unselfish energy. Every pass, every rotation, every hustle play showed a team firing on all cylinders. When all the pieces come together, the Fever aren't just good. They are something special.
I just love it. I really do think this is a really unique and special team. It is. In the locker room, we really do love each other. Like, we love spending time together. Our practices, I'm not going to lie, are long. And sometimes we have to hold hands and be like, hey, we're going to get through it. Right. But this is a team that I have never felt like this in the W. And I've been in it for 7 years. I know you've been in it for 8, And so this is a special group that we have. And so when we can just go out there and have fun and be competitors and feed off of each other, it's just easy. And when people are smiling, like, you don't ever see Kels really get like that, but when we see her get like that, we're like, oh yeah, like we're in it, you know what I mean? And when other teams see that, it's game over. And so we're our best when we're having.
But here's the reality check: this was only the second game all season with the Fever's full roster available. Let that sink in. They've barely had time to practice together at full strength, and yet they delivered a performance that completely dismantled one of the league's stronger teams. That's what makes this one even more impressive. The potential here is still largely untapped. With more time to build chemistry and settle into consistent rotations, this team could become something truly dangerous. The 27 assists on 35 made baskets told the story, a 77% assist rate that's only possible when elite talent connects through true teamwork. It's the kind of basketball that
our team kind of got in a groove, honestly, when Kate got hurt. And we were playing good offense, good defense, but we're a whole different team when she is in. And so we have to learn how to adjust, how to get her involved, how to keep people who are hot. And so it's just kind of learning that and then staying consistent in that. But the things that we can control is our effort, our energy, boxing out, defensive scouts, and that's what we got to hang our hat on.
This victory wasn't just about beating Atlanta. It was about proving that the Fever have what it takes to push through internal tension and external pressure to deliver when it counts. Coach Stephanie White spoke about the team's growth in learning to prioritize the *we* over the *me*, a mindset shift that separates contenders from champions. With more than half the season still ahead, there's time to build deeper chemistry, refine rotations, and unlock their full potential. And if this game was any indication, the ceiling is sky high. Scoring 59 points in the second half, their highest scoring half of the season, the Fever showcased not only their offensive firepower but their ability to adjust, adapt, and respond with purpose. The energy, unselfishness, and joy they played with gave fans a powerful glimpse into what's possible. This wasn't the end of their story, it was the beginning of something special.
Yeah, it feels good. I think that our team has enough offensive threats that we should have 5 to 6 people in double figures every single night when we move the ball. When the ball is popping, we're a really hard team to guard. Again, we have to be disciplined on defense. We can get easy buckets in transition, but I think offensively, when the ball is popping, we're a hard team to guard in the W.
What happened in the second half wasn't just impressive, it was a masterclass in how championship teams respond when the pressure is on. The Fever exploded for 59 points in the final 24 minutes, nearly doubling Atlanta's output and tying their highest scoring half in the past 7 seasons. This wasn't about luck or a hot shooting streak, it was about execution, discipline, and heart. The Fever outscored Atlanta nearly 2-1 in the second half, making key adjustments and delivering at both ends of the floor. They locked down Jordan Canada after she dropped 26 in the first half, completely shutting her down when it mattered most. That's what great teams do. They identify problems, adapt quickly, and take control.